Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say before I continue with my story that I absolutely love being a woman. It's just the fact that I can wear my lingerie without any shame. I can wear my lipstick. My lashes be on fleek. And I love planning makeup. Okay. Enough about me. But when y'all guys get a chance, can y'all go on YouTube and like and share or even subscribe at his mango on youtube.com. So guys, where I left off was where the slave owner came in, where his sleeping wife had her baby laying across her chest. So the slave owner, he was so happy and proud to be a first time father. He had tried so long with his wife to have a baby. They had 6 miscarriages and 2 stillborns. So the thought of him actually bringing a baby, or per se his wife bringing a baby in the world, it just tickled his fancy. He was so happy and ecstatic that he had a son in this world that he left his heifer there laying there naked. He no longer wanted her anymore. He had to lay eyes on his son. So he came in one of the slave quarters where all the slave babies are normally born, where the midwife was there sitting in a corner shaking when she seen her slave owner come in. He paid that no attention because he was so happy that his baby boy was born. So he crept over to his sleeping wife that looked so tired yet beautiful and disheveled, pulling the cover back off of his son so he can catch a glimpse of his baby, but was startled when he seen the dark skin that was tagged to his baby's skin. The slave owner was so mad that he just took the baby and just slammed the baby down on the ground, causing the baby to die instantly. He didn't care. He was so mad that he jerked his wife off of the table where she lay bleeding and sore from bringing the big baby into the world. The midwife screamed and ran for help because the slave owner became crazy and erratic and was so mad that his wife was bold enough to bring a black baby into this world and not take the baby's life. She was just so bold that she didn't care that she wanted this baby by a slave that he knew all too well. He knew it was Ernie's baby when he pulled the cover off of the baby. The baby lay there dead. He didn't even have a chance. The baby was only probably about 15 minutes old. The mistress was so weak that she couldn't fight her husband off. He just took his dirty boots and kicked her in her open wound until she bled out, coughed up blood, and she died as well. He ran out the door looking for Ernie, but Ernie was already gone. He ran up to some of his um he ran up to some of his slaves and dared them not to tell where Ernie went. The slaves were so afraid that they just went and told that Ernie left before the baby was born. The slave owner gathered up a crew of men to go and search for Ernie. He was determined to kill Ernie, but he was determined to torture him. The midwife doubled back and went and got the bleeding baby that laid there with an open wound in his head. The baby didn't have a chance. The baby was dead by a mad slave owner. The lady, the mistress, the lady of our house, laid there bleeding, barely clinging on to her life, but still able to scoot over and grab her baby. She didn't care if her baby was black. She just knew her baby came from her. The mistress held her bleeding baby close to her womb, kissed him on his cheek, and died. The midwife snatched the baby out of the dead mistress' arms and spit on her face. She didn't care if the mistress was dead or not. She was just more mad the baby, the innocent child, was dead. She took the baby and grabbed a sheet and wrapped the baby up, prepare for his burial. She had to bury the baby quick because the slave owners was known to burn babies, throw them away, and feed them to crocodiles, but not this baby, not this particular one. She knew she had to think quick. She had to act quick. So she took the baby and gave the baby to one of the girls and told her to hide him until she can find a place to bury the baby. But meanwhile, Ernie, he was still barefooted in the swamp, trying to cross the swamps that was infested with alligators, snakes, and no telling what. But he had to take a chance and move quickly. He can hear the bloodhounds on his trail, but he couldn't stop because he knew if any of the slave owners men got hold of him, that would be it. He would not die a slow death. He knew they was going to torture him for laying with the mistress. But it was not his fault. He could not tell the mistress no. He could not tell her no because she was known for getting what she wanted. And if he would have told her no, she would have screamed rape. So he was in the cross between saying no to his mistress and suffering the consequences of being labeled as a rapist, or sleeping with her and taking the chance of getting her pregnant because he was so good. But he took that chance. So he was able to cross the swamp, being bit by infested and deadly snakes. But like I said, he had to take that chance. Ernie made it cross. He laid back on the muddy dirt that cradled his head while he sucked the poison out of his thigh, which he should have just laid there and died. But because what was coming for him was far worse than the snake that bit him. He can hear the bloodhounds getting closer and closer and closer. He can hear his master's voice calling and calling him. Ernie, you dirty bastard. Ernie, you nasty slave. I treated you like my own son. I treated you better than any slave. And you just laid with my wife and gave her one of your bastard sons. How could you? When I catch up with you, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to cut your dick off and make you eat it. Ernie, when he heard his master's voice, he crawled until he was able to get on his feet. He was so scared that he shitted on himself. He ran and ran and ran until he passed out from the venom that was still running in his veins. He could no longer run because he was so defeated by the blood, the deadly blood from the venom that was exchanged from the snake that bit him. When he woke up, he was hanging from a cross, but he was barely hanging on. He was still alive. But when we looked down, he was cut up. His dick was gone. The master had cut it off. The master was cruel. He was mad. And like I said earlier, it was okay for him to lay with who he wanted to lay with.